What's up everyone, Mike here. So today's video, we're going to cover the customer buying cycle and how to tie in where shoppers are at in the customer buying cycle with the ads that you're creating on Amazon. Now, most of you are going to be working with three different ad types. We have sponsored product ads, sponsored brand ads, and sponsored display ads. We're not going to be covering video ads on this video, but I wanted to cover the three main ad types. And the point is, we want to tie in all the different ad types and think about when we could potentially use them to target shoppers based on where they're at in the buying cycle. So they may be just discovering your product, or maybe they're in the hunt for your product and they really want to purchase, but they're not quite sure which one. We want to serve the ads to shoppers at the right time. And this goes all the way from the discovery phase all the way to the post-purchase phase when customers already know, like, and trust you. We want to create campaigns across all three ad types in that phase as well. So first off, let's dive into the customer buying cycle. And this chart shows that there's 5 different phases. And the first phase is the needs awareness phase. So this may be the stage where shoppers aren't aware that there's a product out there that could solve a problem that they have. So your job is to get in front of potential shoppers who may be interested by finding audiences that may be interested in your product and solving their problem. So we want to help to let them discover your product because it could help them out. So that's the discovery phase. Then let's say they discover the product, they are aware that it could help them out. That's when they go into the next stage, which is information search. This is when they're going to be looking at different listings, evaluating those listings, looking at reviews, looking at price, looking at benefits, and looking at features. So we want to get in front of shoppers when they're in that consideration phase. And that also ties into the next phase, which is evaluating alternatives. So this is when it's great to make sure that your listing has some kind of benefit over your competitor's listing. Make sure that your listing really stands out. Make sure that you are targeting shoppers that are weaker than you. And we'll talk about all of this in this video. So once shoppers have considered the product that they want, they may not purchase right then and there. They may come back. That's when we want to make sure our ad is being shown in the purchase phase or the decision phase. So this is when shoppers go in and they type in a keyword that directly relates to the product you are selling. And you want to make sure that you're showing at the very top of search to make sure you get the shopper when they are looking and most ready to purchase your product. So certain keywords have purchase intent, and that's when we want to put our products up in front of shoppers' eyes at that moment. And then hopefully they've made a decision to purchase your product. Now they are in your ecosystem. They know, like, hopefully, and trust you. And this is when they do the post-purchase phase where you can target those shoppers again and again. Hopefully you have a product line or you have a consumable product and get them back into your funnel again and get them purchasing from your product line once again. So that is the post-purchase phase. Now, we have all these different ad types: sponsored product ads, sponsored brand ads, sponsored display ads. How do we utilize the different targeting opportunities, all the different tools that Amazon gives us to really tie everything all together? Now, that is the foundation of the playbook series, and we're in the process of recording the second version of the playbook series, but we've outlined the different campaigns, and I'm going to go over every single of those campaigns today just to give you an overview to start to get you to think about how you can fill out your customer funnel. Now, keep in mind that this is not meant to overwhelm you in any way. By all means, you do not have to use all of these campaigns. What you want to do is evaluate where your product is at. If you're just getting started, you want to do the launch and rank campaigns, then eventually get into your automatic campaigns, your manual discovery campaigns, and then start to build out the different ad types: sponsored product ads, brand ads, and display ads, and start to build it out from there. This is not meant to just say, hey, all of these campaigns have to be done right now. You may be at that initial stage where maybe just 3 or 4 of these campaigns are applicable to where you're at right now. Or maybe you have a robust brand and you've been selling for years and you have multiple product lines. There's a good chance that all of these campaigns can really help you to fill out your funnel. So let's dive in. We're going to start off with sponsored product ads. Now, this is what SP stands for. You'll notice that SP 1 and 2 is missing. That is meant for ranking campaigns. If you're just getting started with a product, you want to use those ranking campaigns. We're not going to cover that on this video, but we have SP3, SP4. These are different automatic campaigns. This is a great way to fill out the buying cycle and to fill out ad inventory that you may have difficulty targeting with manual campaigns. So I always recommend keeping automatic campaigns on. We have a regular automatic campaign that goes through all the different auto targeting groups. And then we have an auto low campaign, which kind of gets to the lower hanging fruit. Typically, these campaigns have a very low ACoS and they're very easy to set up. Next, we have all the different types of discovery campaigns. So we're in that discovery phase. We're helping shoppers to find our product. Auto campaigns can do that really well. Or what we can do is we can go and find different keyword, target, ASIN, and category opportunities and showcase our product by targeting these keywords, ASINs, and categories in these various discovery campaigns. Now, the great thing about this is you can do your keyword research. You want to find relevant audiences and test all of these different keywords and targets and ASINs out. The goal here really though is to make sure you're trying to see what is going to stick. You're going to do a little bit at a time and test these different keywords, ASINs, and categories to see what is going to resonate with your shoppers, with the people who are shopping for your product. So we have a cheat sheet, and I'm going to link to this below. This will teach you how to find different keywords, categories, and ASINs to put in the discovery phase. And once in the playbook is going to show you how to set up the campaigns. But essentially, the gist of it is you're going to find ASINs and test those ASINs. You're going to find targets and test those targets. You're going to find categories and test and see what is actually working so you can help shoppers to discover your product. So next we have the consideration phase. So once again, this is for shoppers who are already looking for your product. They're searching for a product similar to yours, and you've already discovered that this keyword, ASIN, or category works pretty well. Because what we're going to do in this phase is we're going to go into the search term report and we're going to find the targets, and by targets I mean ASINs, keywords, and categories that have already done really well, that have 2 or more orders or 3 or more orders at a reasonable ACoS, a very good conversion level. We're going to find that, we're going to harvest it, and we're going to put them into these consideration-based campaigns. We're also going to do what's called category refining, which means we're going to target the products that are weaker than ours by refining it down based on price and based on review star rating. So these campaigns are very straightforward. A lot of sellers are already doing these campaigns. Essentially, this is just digging into your search term report and finding the gold based on the search terms or ASINs that have already converted very well and creating campaigns exclusively for those winning golden nuggets. Next, we have the purchase campaign. Okay, so the purchase campaign, this is when you want to get in front of the shopper, presumably at the top of search, because they have already established that this keyword is either very relevant or converts really well. So you want to show up at the very top. And of course, you can do this with both keywords and both ASINs. And in this campaign, we dig into the search report once again, and we find the keywords or ASINs that have multiple orders at a very high conversion rate, and we try to get to the very top of search with the purchase campaign for sponsored product ads. Next, we have the post-purchase campaigns. Post-purchase, once again, is for shoppers who already know, like, and trust us. So in this case, we're looking to protect our brand. People might be searching for our brand, so we want to do a brand protection-based campaign or an ASIN protection campaign. If somebody's on our listing, they're already searching, why not protect our listing and showcase either another one of our products in our product line, or there's various other things that you can do. You can upsell different products. The point is you want to protect that ASIN and protect the pathway to purchase in the post-purchase phase. All right, so now let's dive into sponsored brand discovery. Now, this is a great way to go about just getting more exposure to your brand, starting to get more touch points and really getting to that discovery phase. And there's 3 different ways that you could do that. First off, the first initiative would be brand discovery. So if you have a bigger brand, you have maybe multiple product lines, you want to get that brand out there, you could have brand awareness type of campaigns. Now, I don't expect these to perform at the best level because, you know, it's more of like posting your billboard out on the highway. We're going after more broad-based keyword searches or categories to get the brand name out there. So this is a brand discovery campaign with brand discovery headlines leading to your storefront page to help shoppers see your entire brand, your entire line of products. And that's the first in the sponsored brand campaigns. Then we have the same type of campaign, but more for a product line. And this is when we're showcasing a specific subset of products that we want to get in front of shoppers for a different set of keywords. It's more refined, and we're sending shoppers to maybe a storefront page that's just got, or a storefront subpage that's just got these products on there. Okay, and then finally, product discovery, where we're helping shoppers discover just one product. Maybe you have multiple variations of that product, and you could put that into the headline, into the actual products that show up in the sponsored brand ad, and you're sending shoppers to a storefront subpage that has just these products, or you're sending them to a list page of just these products. So once again, we're helping shoppers to discover your product. And then of course, next we have the consideration phase. This is very similar. In the consideration phase for sponsored brand ads, we're going back into the search term report. We're scraping once again. We're finding those categories that worked well, the ASINs, the search terms, and we're targeting those with specific ads for sponsored brand ads. The same exact thing as sponsored product ads, but we're doing it once again for sponsored brand ads. Then we have purchase. Now, this is important, guys. This is going to separate you from sellers who are just going to a little bit lazy with this. Let's face it. So here we have the opportunity to do what's called the copy, rinse, and repeat technique, where you essentially set up a sponsored brand ad, but then you tailor it to the search term in the search report that does really, really well for your product. So if you have a long tail search term, you can then put that long tail search term into the headline and target it as an exact match. It's not going to get a ton of search volume, perhaps, because maybe it's not a high search volume keyword. But the point is, you're making that ad hyper relevant, and you can simply do the copy, rinse, and repeat technique by just copying your best performing ad and tweaking it just a little bit to be hyper in alignment with the keyword that the shoppers are searching for. So that is the scale campaign for the decision phase. And then we have the post-purchase phase. Once again, we're going to do brand protection and ASIN protection campaigns. All right, now let's get into the newest and latest, which is sponsored display ads. Sponsored display ads, there's been a lot of new updates recently, especially for the discovery phase. We have different campaigns that we're going to set up. We have the category discovery, where we're testing different categories and we're pasting our ads out there in various different ways. We have ASIN discovery. Once again, we're testing different ASINs to see what's working. Keep in mind, there are no search terms or keywords that we use in sponsored display campaigns, but now we can target shoppers based on their interests, lifestyles, and events. So these are different campaigns that we can set up. I recommend testing this out with a low budget, but once again, if you have a discovery phase budget, this is a great way to see what sticks for your product. Also, this is a great way to get in while it's early, because this is still something that's very brand new, just released by Amazon. And next we have the consideration phase. Now, all of these different opportunities scream to me the consideration phase. This is for shoppers who have not made the purchase quite yet, but definitely are in market for the product that you're selling. Now, this is the shoppers who have searched for your product or something similar in the searches audience. That's SD6. Then we have shoppers who are in market for your product. Now, you can't use or target people who are in market specifically for your product, but you can target shoppers who are in market for something related to your product. So you have to go in there and see if there's something that matches when you're setting up this campaign. Then SD8 is the audience remarketing, which is fantastic because this is going to target shoppers who have been to your product or your competitor's product but have not purchased yet. Beautiful. Then we have SD9, category remarketing. So we could target shoppers who have been to a certain category and hit them up with your ad. Once again, we have the ASIN scraping, where we're digging into the search term report, and we have refined category targeting, very similar to what we did in sponsored product ads. All right, next, let's dive into the purchase phase. Once again, we have the ASIN scale. We can find all of those ASINs that have converted really well, and we can create a purchase campaign. And then we also have the post-purchase campaign, where we go into the purchases audience. Not all of you are going to have access to the purchases audience. And then also we could do the ASIN defense and the cross-sell for sponsored display ads. This is a great place to go ahead and do it. Now, I know this was a bit of an overview, and there's a lot of things that you can use from this. Once again, you don't have to use all of these campaigns. I'm going to give you a bit of a cheat sheet though. This is going to be in the link below. This is what we call the customer buying cycle cheat sheet. And essentially this gives you an overview of how to use these different campaigns, the different match types, the different budgets, all the different things that you can take into consideration when you're setting up your campaigns based on the customer buying cycle, based on the customer journey. So I recommend downloading that. It's a free tool that you can use to make sure you're setting up your campaigns the right way based on the experience that we've had with our clients. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you found it helpful, please leave a comment in the section below. Also, the video above is a video that we made about the top headline tips. I know you're going to get some really good strategies about how to make really good custom headlines for your ads in that video. And the video below is a video that YouTube thinks you will like. And I will see you all next week.